Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Off to another week. Looks like the weather this week will at least be nice. But today we are going to talk more about peripherals. Okay, so this is stuff that we ended last week on. What I would like you to do right now is on Friday you submitted 6.1 assignment, which was vocab. I would like you to open up that document that you have, your own document, so from your drive, and anything from this presentation that will help you, I want you to add to your vocab words or even at the bottom of the table of vocab words so you guys have this information. All right, so let's get started here. It's not too long of a presentation. So here, slide 2, okay, what we talked about already, peripherals are used for computer input and output. So these are all examples here of peripherals. So you have a USB flash drive, a monitor, wireless mouse, printer, keyboard. Okay, so peripherals aren't essential parts of a computer, but they are added to a computer to expand what a computer can do. Okay, so an input function is anything that you put into the computer and that device is used in the computer. So example, keyboard. You plug in the keyboard, you're typing in the computer. Mouse, same thing, typing in the computer. Okay, output is information that you are taking from the computer and putting it out. So for example, a printer. Okay, you're taking something and you're printing it out of the printer. Even speakers are example of an output device. Okay. And then finally we have storage devices too, which are examples of peripherals. So some of them, like I said, monitors, printers, keyboards, mice, scanners, disk drives, storage, external hard drives, flash drives, okay? These are all examples of what a peripheral is. All right, so like I said, the keyboard, okay, is an input device. You type on it, what you type comes up on the keyboard. Okay, here's the exact definition. Keyboard represents or reports each key pressed to the software program that interprets the keystrokes. Okay, and there's also different keyboard shortcuts that you guys, I'm sure you know. Control C is cut, Control V is paste. If you do Control B, that's bold, Control I, italics. There's all sorts of different keyboard shortcuts as well to use. Okay. They can be used for computer gaming as well. And even now, keyboards are a lot more versatile than they used to be. They come in different sizes. Even now, you can hook up a keyboard to an iPad or a Chromebook. Okay, so keyboards are very different now looking than what they are here. Okay. Next peripheral we're going to talk about is mice. Okay, so you have an example of a wireless mouse here. Okay, and then you have your mouse like at school that has a cord on it. It's not wireless. This is a trackball mouse. Okay, this little ball here is the trackball. And then a lot of times, if you guys are using, let me open up a new tab here. If you guys are using a laptop, okay, you are probably using a trackpad. Okay. Let's see here. So the trackpad is going to be right on your keyboard. What's kind of cool is now if you get used to using that trackpad, you can actually buy a trackpad that hooks up to a computer that's off the keyboard. So even if you have a desktop computer, you can buy a trackpad that hooks up either wirelessly using Bluetooth or can physically plug into the computer using a USB drive. So here's an example of what a trackpad would look like. They come in different sizes, and you can use them for a desktop computer as well if you like the feel of that trackpad on your laptop. So yeah, kind of expensive, you can see, but just another example of a peripheral. Okay, so moving on from mice. Well, actually, so with mice, okay, we have an optical mouse that uses a little camera inside of it to measure position and movement. Okay, then there's different laser mouses that has another little tiny camera and uses the position of a laser. We have the trackball mouse here, okay, which we talked about, and then a mechanical mouse, which is the example here with the little rubber ball to calculate too. Or no, sorry, that's not a mechanical mouse. You guys don't even know what a mechanical mouse is. That's an old school mouse like when I was in high school, and it had an actual ball underneath of it to track it. Okay. Next, we have monitors. So like we talked about, monitors are an output device, okay, because it's putting the image on the computer out, okay? So most of the monitors that we use look like this. Some of you may remember a CRT monitor from when you were younger, maybe not. I know that's the kind of monitor we had at my house when I was younger. So, like I said, most monitors today look like this, okay? So LCD monitors, they're just like TVs, all right? And then like older TVs, we have the CRT monitor. LED monitors look the same as the LCD monitors, but they're a little bit lighter and brighter, and that makes them more useful for displays, okay? This is bulky. It's not the norm anymore. Operates differently than this one does as well. Okay, so pretty simple stuff about monitors, nothing too crazy. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about HD. So in your lifetime, you've probably, all you've ever known probably is HD. Some of you may remember, before HD. So when I was probably in high school, maybe early years of college, HD came out. So high definition. So there would actually be, I mean, there still are channels. If you have Comcast or Verizon cable, there's HD channels and there's not HD channels. So before there was only non-HD channels. So let's say you're watching a basketball game, right? You probably looked like maybe the 20 by 20 or the 50 by 50. It wasn't perfectly crisp like it is now. Okay, so now if you have your HD channels, which everybody should, most TVs are HD now, you have a beautiful, clear, crisp image. And I remember going from watching a football game on non-HD to HD, and it was like, holy crap, this is insane. It was like the new thing. So with HD, you use your HDMI cord, which I'm sure all of you know what that is at this point. So a pixel, okay, is the smallest colored dot, okay, that is displayed on the screen. So different definitions, different standard resolutions. The standard resolution is 1280 by 720, okay, that's width and height. The more pixels that there are, the more detail. So look here, 1 by 1 pixels, 2 by 2, 5 by 5, example, example, example. 100 by 100, more pixels, the crisper the image is. Okay, so this is standard resolution. The high definition resolution is the 19 by 20 by 1080. Okay. Monitor's resolution on a computer can be changed through the operating system, but most monitors are high definition today. So printers and scanners, okay? Is a printer an input device or an output device? What do you think? Okay, printer is going to be an output device because it's putting stuff out, and then a scanner will be an input device because it's scanning something into the computer. Okay, having a printer and a scanner is adding a huge value to your computer system. I know one thing, having a printer and a scanner at home right now while teaching online has been really, really beneficial for me. And I know a lot of people today that are stuck at home, they actually had to go out and buy a printer or a scanner for their work purposes because they didn't have one and they weren't able to work. So having those do add a very an enormous amount of value to your computer system. Okay, so you have multifunction. Whoopsies, sorry. We have multifunction printer, we have a scanner, and then an inkjet printer. What you have at home is most likely some type of multifunction, depending. I know I have a printer, scanner, and a copy machine that's all in one. My printer at school is an inkjet printer. So it really just depends on what you need. Okay, people who don't need all those functions are just probably going to buy the simple inkjet printer. But if you want a scanner, if you want a copy machine, they're not that expensive these days. I think our printer was like maybe $120, and it does, like I said, it scans, it faxes, all that, or not faxes, excuse me, it scans and copies and prints. Okay. All right, so data storage, all right? So what you guys are familiar with is a CD-ROM drive, okay? That's what optical drive, DVD drive, that's what you're used to, okay? When I was in elementary school and in high school, the 3.5 floppy was something that we used. And I don't know if you have any idea what that is. I'm going to show you here. But before cloud-based storage, so before Google Drive, before flash drives, we used to have to buy a floppy disk for storage for computer class when I was in elementary school. So this is what a floppy disk looks like. Okay, it's only 1.44 megabytes of storage. To give you an example, let me see here. I'm going to see what my phone is. Where is my phone? So that has 1.44, okay, megabytes of storage, okay? So 1.44 is not even, it's 0.00144, okay? So basically divided by 1,000 of gigabytes, okay? My phone right now capacity is 64 gigabytes. Okay, 64 gigabytes, and this is this would be way less. So that's what you used to use for storage. That gives you an idea of how much storage has evolved as well. My Apple Watch has more than this storage. Okay, so old types of storage, then we have CD-ROM, DVD drive, and you have a Blu-ray drive, which now, I remember when those came out, they were like the cool thing that you could buy Blu-ray DVDs, okay? So these are all different types of storage. Blu-ray disc can hold 5 times the amount of storage that a traditional DVD can, okay? So they can hold about 50 gigs to about 200 gigs, all right? So again, how storage has evolved, and now we even have cloud-based storage. We have the USB drives as well, which here we are here, USB drive, okay. So these are examples of external disk drives. It says here, external disk drives. So just like your computer has a hard drive where it saves everything all long term, you can have an external hard drive that plugs into your computer using a USB where you can back up all of your stuff on your computer, all your files, all your photos, your music, movies. Some of your parents may have an external hard drive if they have a computer at home that they have work stuff on. And then, or you can save stuff to USB drive. I'm sure all of you have saved stuff to USB drives before. Okay, and then here is a DVD drive. This is an example of an external DVD drive. So now, like I know MacBooks, when you buy the MacBook Air, it doesn't even come with a disk drive anymore, but you can buy an external one, which you plug in using a USB. So now, with peripherals, we even have wireless technology thanks to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, depending on what you're using. You can link speakers, headphones, even other storages, so you could use an external hard drive and link it using Bluetooth. I'm sure a lot of you have your AirPods and you have your wireless speaker, okay? But Bluetooth has become standard brand name when you're talking about wireless pairings, okay? Newer speakers, you can even newer cars, have Bluetooth that are installed with them. You can hook up your phones, all that. So Bluetooth just became popular. When I was in high school, which was, 13 years ago, Bluetooth didn't even exist. Wireless stuff didn't really exist. So this, within the last 15 to 20 years, has really evolved over time. All right. And then when you're using a computer, okay, this is your computer, your towers, there's something called expansion bays, okay? So you can fit a different size optical drive, different size DVD drive into the expansion bay. Most desktops have a DVD drive now as the primary optical drive, and most of them can read a DVD and can read a Blu-ray disc, okay? So in our classroom at school, we have the small ones that are under your desk. I don't even know if you've ever seen those. And it has a much smaller optical drive than this, not optical drive, but the tower is a lot smaller. All right, so if you guys have any questions on any of this, shoot me an email or you can post on Band as well. Have a great